If every experience arises and passes away, and to be mindful requires detachment from those experiences, what is the purpose of human relationships, which inherently must and do endure? Are we to dispense with these relationships to be truly mindful? Who says human relationships endure? What does endure? Nothing is permanent in this world. The only thing permanent, as Bhanteji likes to say, is impermanence. That does not necessarily mean, so this is another one going along the same lines of feeling like, oh, I'm a bad Buddhist because I have relationships and I talk to people. I'm not like alone by myself in the woods, meditating and denouncing the world. That's definitely not something that you need to feel as a practicing Buddhist. Even as a monastic, to a certain extent. There's all kinds of idealism about monks being in the woods by themselves, meditating. But that's not necessarily reality, because from the very beginning, the Buddha set up this community, this fourfold assembly of male monastics, female monastics, male laypersons, female laypersons, all together as a group, so that they all depend on each other. So even that is something that we are all together in this practice. So the purpose of human relationships, and again, even as monastics, we have friendships. We don't have romantic relationships and stuff like that. We don't have children and do all the things that lay people do. But there is still friendships. There's still human contact. I'm here, sitting here, talking with all of you, and we're spending this long, weekend together, doing our meditation and our practice. So the key thing to be mindful of is that, yes, this will end. Whatever, you're married, it will end. One or both of you, well, both of you are going to die eventually, but one will maybe die first, maybe not. So you will lose, your people that you have attachments to, or more likely, you'll probably get divorced. There is a 50%, Well, us monks don't have to worry about that, both the female and the male monks. But this is something, it's really more of being aware. When you're aware, no matter what relationships you have, no matter if you're a layperson, monastic, no matter what your life situations are, it's being aware that in this moment, in every moment, in everything in the universe is coming to be, is arising, is staying for a time, and then is passing away. Even the universe, scientists tell us that the universe will end in one way or another. They're not necessarily sure which way it will end, but it will end. So if the universe will end, everything else will end. So we're just being aware of that. And when we have that awareness that, that this will end, or this too shall pass, it shouldn't be a depressing thing like, oh man, everybody, there's 5 remembrances that the Buddha tells us to remember all the time. First is that you're subject to old age. You're not exempt from old age. You're subject to illness. You're not exempt from illness. You're subject to death. You're not exempt from death. And then the one that everybody cringes at, everything dear and pleasant to you, you will one day be separated from. So the message is not to be depressed that you're going to be separated, or depressed that you have these, or detaching from these human relationships. The message is to be grateful for the time that you have, to use this time wisely, when you're with this person, or you're with people that you have relationships with, to spend it in a wise and skillful time. Oh, what's the 5th? I didn't go over the 5th. Okay. The 5th is The fifth is that your karma is your, you are subject to your karma. Whatever you do for good or ill, you will be subject to, whether in this life or future life. So that's the fifth. But so yeah, this is, I think the message is to be grateful and to spend the time with people and experiences that you experience, knowing that they will end. People will come in and out of your lives. Experiences will come in and out of your lives. And to allow that to happen, not to try to grasp when things, when people and experiences leave your life. We don't want to greedily grasp to them. This is how life is. This is how all experience is. This is why we talk about, and the Buddha talks about, following the breath. You can see this arising and passing away in every single breath. So that's why it's important to realize this into the practice, and not to see it as something that's depressing or sad, but something that is an amazing, grateful experience that when you look back at it, you wouldn't have done it any other way, and you had, it was something that really helped you in your life, on your practice. So that's where I guess that's my answer to that.